I welcome you all. And for this office, I will be talking about rapid funds. Yeah, we will tell you the kind of funds that we have available and probably guide you through how you can apply for the funds and the things you need to do that will make you access the funds easily. So that is why we are here. Myself and Florence, we are here to tell you what is available and answer your questions if there is any. Rapid Fund is a funds that Wikimedia Foundation used to support people that want to organize events, just like the Wiki Loves Africa campaign that we are talking about. And we have some things here to tell you, like who can access Rapid Funds, what you can use Rapid Funds for, when that is a processing time, and how much you can get. So any individual, group, or Wikimedia affiliate or an organization from Wikimedia movements can access Rapid Funds. You just need to apply for it on the Flux, and we review, then check your application and award the fund if it merits the application. And what can you use Rapid Funds for? You can use them for short-term projects, low-cost projects with Wikimedia focus. Yeah, Wikimedia focus. Your project must focus on Wikimedia, and it must be, for Rapid Funds, it's a project that is between 1 to 12 months. That is between 1 month and a year. So, and when we talk about the processing time, that is when the processing time takes 2 months. That is, you see Rapid Funds application once in 2 months, and in this period of time, you apply, we review, then we award the funds before you can carry on your project. Then how much can you get for Rapid Funds? You can get minimum of $500 and maximum of $5,000 for Rapid Funds. So if you are planning to apply for Wiki Loves Africa campaign next year, you can get it if you understand this, and this is what the Rapid Funds is used for. And the next thing here we're talking about is the eligibility criteria. It's not everybody that can get a Rapid Funds. Yeah, it's not everybody. So we're talking about the people that will be eligible to get funds for Wiki Loves Africa 2025. If you have all these things in place, then you are good to go. So to get Rapid Funds for Wiki Loves Africa 2025, you can get if you are a Wikimedia community member, part of an organization from the Wikimedia movement, either a community member or part of a group or an organization from the Wikimedia movement. Then that is, you are just affiliated to a Wikimedia affiliate. Then if you are an individual who does not have any other open Rapid Funds, so there are people that has a grant already for individual. If you have a grants application already, and whether funded or not yet funded or in the process of review, you can't apply for Rapid Funds. And also, if you have a grant that you are carrying on a project already and you are not done with your project is still in process, you can't apply for another Rapid Funds. Or maybe you've done a project and you are yet to report your project, you won't be eligible to apply for Rapid Funds. If you are in one of these categories and you want to apply, you should just try to put everything in check and put everything in place, and you are good to go. So you can also get the Rapid Funds if you have not exceeded the total fund amount for an individual can access per fiscal year. So when we talk about fiscal year, we talk about the Wikimedia fiscal year is between July to June the following year. So for this year now, we have July 1st to June 30th, 2025. So, and for each fiscal year, an individual can get a maximum of 10,000 USD for a grant. So if you have gotten a grant up to 10,000 USD this year already, between July 1st to this period that we are talking about, then you are not eligible to apply for Rapid Fund for Wiki Loves Africa campaign 2025. Then also, if you are an organization or group with less than 2 open grants at any given time, you are eligible. And if you have current contribution history, and experience on the target Wikimedia projects mentioned in your grant application. So for this now, we are talking about you have experience contributing to Wiki Loves Africa, you have experience organizing Wiki Loves Africa, or you have experience contributing to Wikimedia Commons, and you know what the campaign is all about, then you can apply for Wiki Loves Africa 2025 rapid funds. And also, if you have informed the team members about your grant and the community that is involved in the discussion, in the grant, in their discussion, in discussing the proposal. So you don't just get to apply for grants like that. For example, if I want to organize Wiki Loves Africa 2025 for the Nigerian community, first of all, I must have reached out to the community to tell them this is a project I want to do, reach out to them, discuss with them to know if there is maybe the community is using annual project grants or general support fund, and they have put Wiki Loves Africa in the application already. Let me know before I apply. So you have to reach out to the community, tell them about your proposal, what you want to do, and then before you can apply. And also, we'll be going into the next thing, which is how to apply. So for Wiki,
oh, hold on, just a second.
yeah.
I would like to remind two important links. So I dropped the first link in the chat. So that's the organizer portal on Meta, and that's the place where you want to follow what's going on in the future if you're to be organizing. So that's the Wiki Loves Africa on Meta, new organizer portal. So Hilary started creating it. News will be added over there. So that's the first one. The second place where you want to follow in the future what happened is, in fact, the future portal page of Commons, of the Wiki Loves Africa on Commons. It does not exist yet, so it is yet to be created. But one thing that is important for you is the theme. That's, I believe, is the only page that currently exists, and the theme has already been selected. It's somewhere. I'm still digging for the link. I will share it as soon as I can find it back. But for now, what you need to know is that the theme chosen was from farm to plate. So it really covers elements coming from farming things, producing elements, to transforming food, till making dishes, or maybe restaurants or industries to deal with that, and to the end, which is actually eating. Can be at home, it can be in restaurant. So when we are talking of the grants that you will be asking for, it's because you will consider that your group will need money to implement that theme. And amongst the cost, there might be some trips, some travel expenses related to maybe visiting some industries, visiting the country where the food is produced, or special places, till the end, which might be visiting places where the food is being sold, for example. So before you think going into what do you need in terms of money, you will need to start thinking about the theme. So keep that theme in mind whilst Hilary is going on with the grant requesting. Go on, and I will find the theme page again. It's lost somewhere.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the team page is there already. I think if you can't get it, I'll just share it later.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing attention to that. So like she said, the theme for this year is farm to play. So when you are doing your application, just make sure it's in line to the theme, because that is very, very important. Once your application is outside the theme, then the possibility of your application being accepted is very, very low. Okay, so moving forward to how you can apply. So applying for rapid funds, we use Flux. That is a Wikimedia grantee portal. So it's Flux, and then you can see, let me copy the link for you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I'll just drop the link to Flux for us. And here we go. You apply your grants on Flux, and you just open Flux and apply your grants. And if you are new to Flux, you first of all have to create your account. Then you can create your account by clicking on register. Once you open the link, then you select apply for rapid funds button, then click and save, or save and close save the application. Then follow the instruction on the application form. You will need to give several information about your project, upload several documents to validate your identity and all of that. So when you are done with that, you can click on submit and go on. And also, I want to bring our
Make
attention to
sure,
something.
be careful if you need to create your account for a first time. Do remember to take some time. Do not do that the last day. I know sometimes it's validated very quickly, but sometimes it takes a couple of days before the actual account is activated. So even if you are not ready to submit yet any application, do remember to apply right now to create your account in advance so that you can look at the forms and everything. Do it from now on, not at the latest minute.
Yeah, thank you, Florence. Account creation might take time to um be accepted if you are new. There are sometimes you create accounts and your account will not be approved and all of that. You have to recreate again and all. So if you want to apply, just take time. If possible, start doing that immediately so that you can meet up with the deadline for the application. So Wikimedia Grantee Portal, which is the Flux, we accept application in English and French. And also, if there's anybody from the Arabic community that wants to apply, you can do your application in Arabic, but mainly you can use English and French. Then also, your application will be published on MetaWiki. It will not just be left on Flux alone after you have applied. It will be published on MetaWiki automatically within 2 days. This is done for the community review and feedback so that the community that is reviewing the grants can see it, then give their feedback and all. Then also another important thing is this: it is very advisable you apply for your rapid funds offline. When I mean offline, there is a document on the rapid funds meta page. I will share the link later. There's a form on rapid grants meta page. It's a Google document where you can make a copy of it. Then all the questions that you be seeing on Flux are on that form. So you can just make a copy of that form, do your application there. Then once you answer the questions there, then once you want to apply directly on Flux, you don't need to start thinking and be answering the question again. You just have to copy the questions you've answered already on your document, then you paste them on Flux. And also there is a document, there's a Google Sheets, a spreadsheet for the budget, the finance budget. So you can make a copy of that, get your budget ready. Then once it's time, you just submit. You don't have to be going through the process of answering the question directly on Flux. So this is just like a hint to us. Then moving forward, we have the application process. So like I said initially, for those that came in a bit late, the processing time for rapid funds is 2 months. So you see one rapid funds application once in 2 months. So we have this process where we do initial review, then we do the main review, then decisions and agreements are made. For the initial review, most time it takes 7 days, and it can be different at times and all. So for that initial review, what is done is the pre-screening eligibility check by the officer. They check if you are eligible for the grants. For those that came late, we talked about the eligibility criteria earlier. So there are so many things that they will check, and to know that, okay, this person can actually get a grant. For example, you understand the project you are working on, you are a Wikimedian, you are a member of an affiliate or an organization that is affiliated to Wikimedia or a user group. And also the initial review process also involves outreach to relevant groups and communities for feedback. And then after the initial review, which is probably 7 days, or it can be more sometimes, you go to they'll move to the final review, which takes like 28 days. So everything happened within 2 months. So you for the main review now, they check the eligibility and documents checks by the grant administrator. This is done by the grant administrator. The first pre-screening eligibility check was for program officer. This eligibility check now is by the grant administrator. They check whether you are eligible and check the documents that you provide to identify yourself, whether the documents are real and they are correct. Then this process also, we check review and feedback by program officer or regional funds committee.
So
Florence.
I need to stop you here because I want to explain a little bit the changes that will happen this year compared to previous year. Maybe in the meanwhile, is it possible for you to share your screen on a Flux page so that you can show applicants what it looks like? If you can't, I will share afterwards, but if you can, that will be the right page. So the link you have here, and here you need to log in based on the account that you will have created. So I want to explain quickly what is the big change that will happening this year and moving forward next year. Until now, the grants could be submitted to 3 different places, more or less. The most common one was the rapid grant system from the Wikimedia Foundation. If you were Nigerian, you could submit to Wikimedia Nigeria. Actually, it's more than you could. If you were Nigerian, normally you had to submit through Wikimedia Nigeria. And third, some people also sometimes submitted to Microfi, which is the French platform from the French hub. So most of the people submitted through the grant system from the Wikimedia Foundation, and then it was reviewed, not so much as I discovered recently, it was reviewed essentially by Veronica. So Veronica is the grant officer. I thought it was also reviewed by the grant committee, but the regional grant committee, but I recently realized that it was not the case. All rapid grants were being actually reviewed by Veronica by and large. She was sometimes seeking comments or opinion from various people, but she was the one doing most of the work. Now, moving forward, the foundation has decided to make some changes to the rapid grant system. And these changes will be implemented slowly, little by little, over the next 12 months. And in the future, for Wiki Loves Africa 2026, the system will still be to apply through Flux, just as we do right now, but the review will be entirely done by a committee run by Wiki in Africa. We are still in the process of figuring the different steps, but the review will not be done by the Wikimedia Foundation anymore. It will be done by a committee from Wiki in Africa. So it might be some members from the English, the French, the Arabic community, or other people will actually review your grant. In the meanwhile, for this year, moving forward in December, what is important to know is that we are doing a pre-pilot of this future system. That means your application will actually be reviewed by Veronica and by members of Wiki in Africa. So the application will not be reviewed as part of the grant committee. Maybe they will see it, we don't know yet, but the main people reviewing it will be Wiki in Africa and Veronica together. And why is it important for you? It's simply because in the past, we have provided you guys a sort of a template where you could more quickly fill up some information. But now all of your application will be reviewed by us. If all applications look exactly the same, that's not going to work. So it's very, very important for you to show exactly what you're going to do, what is in the plan that you have when you submit an application. So contrary-wise to what the slide from Hilary is saying, and this is really brand new, so don't be surprised. The application that will be made at next round, that's the December, all the applications filled up within the next 3 weeks will be reviewed by Veronica and the Wiki in Africa team. Okay, so when I log in, I arrive to a dashboard. This will look this way, and you will have the main place where you submit your application is from here. And as you see, you can apply for different type of funding system. In our case, what we are interested in is apply for rapid grant. And here you will have all the elements of your life as a grantee. So the main pages, all the requests you have been doing in the past, the grants that are currently ongoing, the active one, the completed one, all the information about the payment and what we prefer, all the information about the report, in particular the report which are due. So when you arrive, if you're new, you will have nothing here. You apply for rapid grant. If you are not new, do remember that you need to be up to date with regards to your rapid grant reports or any type of report before you can do that. And the button to start is here. And it's loading. So in my case, that's Wiki in Africa, but for you, it will be either your name or your group, depending on the situation of what you're submitting, and you will have the big form. So go ahead. Just wanted to explain again that the stuff that you will fill here will be reviewed by a mix of people. Veronica, the grant officer for our region, as well as some members of Wiki in Africa. And for every applicant from Nigeria, for example, we will also ask some feedback from the Nigeria team so that they can help us figure out who people are. So we might ask various people. So we are slightly moving from a situation where everything was reviewed purely by the Wikimedia Foundation to a situation where it's reviewed at the same time by Wikimedia Foundation and Wiki in Africa. The money afterwards will still be channeled entirely through the Wikimedia Foundation. So there will be no change on that matter.
So you click on apply for rapid funds, and so you have the application details here where you get to input your applicant details, where you get to input your details, like I say, your contact email, whether you're an individual, you're applying for on behalf of a group and all. Then the main proposal is where you input the information about your proposal title, the timeline when it starts and when it ends, and there are different questions under here, what change you are trying to make and all of that. They are just simple questions that demand you giving a simple but focused answer. The answer doesn't need to be very large or just like a full page, but then what is needed is you passing the information about what you will be doing. You have questions like the planned activities for Wiki Loves Africa. Now you can do something like a launch, you can do something like photo walks and all of that, training your participants on how to get good photos, maybe just like a photography training or videography training. If you want to submit audio, some kind of trainings like that, just your planned activities, what you have in mind to do. And you go down, there are other questions, you describe your team, who you have on your team, what the roles they are going to carry, and the experience, if possible, they have in that particular role they are carrying for the Wiki Loves Africa campaign year, and who are your target participants. Yeah, who are your target participants? This one is very important. Do you have minors, children involved in your project? Are you focusing youth only, or you are focusing adults? This is very important because once you are doing youth, there are some things you need to put in place, some policies you need to read about, safety policies and all of that. So yeah, you can see here you're asking whether your project involves youth or children and all that simple questions. So after this main proposal, you have the learning metrics. Yeah, learning metrics is where you put the numbers of submissions, like not the metrics, the numbers of participants, numbers of editors, the numbers of organizers, numbers of contributions to Wikimedia projects. The Wikimedia projects you are focusing on, the numbers of things you'll be contributing, and how many people will be involved in this project. So this is what the learning and metrics is about, and there are simple questions under here that you answer to. Then the financial proposal is where you talk about your budget, what you want to do, the cost, and what's everything that you are needing to needing for to make the campaign successful. So this is where you talk about them. So you write the budget down, and you do that on a Google sheet. So that is available to just make a copy of it and you do it. And if you once you are applying for people that are not using it, once you're applying, you have to convert your budget from USD, from your local currency to USD, using the O&A converter, and is on the Google sheet. You see it there, so you do the conversion. Then you have, I think that is basically all. The final message, you have to accept, you follow the Wikimedia friendly space code of conduct and all of that. Then you are good to go. So
Hilary, Ola is asking for you to speak more slowly.
Oh, sorry, Ola. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just used to talking very fast, but then I'll try to be slow. Okay. So like I said, so after the learning metrics, where you get to talk about the numbers of people that will be involved, the numbers of editors, organizers, numbers of contribution, you go to financial proposal, where you talk about the finances, what you are using the funds for, you cost for it by writing everything down in detail, the money you need, the amount, and what it's used for. Then after you've done that in your local currency, you can go ahead to convert to USD. Be reminded that your whatever you're applying for should not be more than 5,000 USD. So once you are done making these budgets in your local currency on the budget template sheet, then convert it. Then once you are applying, you see a space where you upload your budget here. Yeah, this space. So you can upload the budget file by clicking on this. You upload the budget file, or you indicate the link. Since it's a Google spreadsheet, you can just copy the link, but don't forget to give everybody access, so that anybody that is reviewing your project don't need to request for access. The person will just click on the link and it will be open. Then you are good to go. So once you are done applying and you are done with your application, you can just click on save and close. Then after 2 days, your application will be published on
Do
Meta.
remember to save. Some people forget to
Yeah.
save. Do remember to save, because as long as you don't save and publish, the application remain in draft and nobody will review. And sometimes you don't get alerts or anything. So do make sure that you saved. Very important.
Yeah. Thank you. So this is just the overview of how the flux is, and it's very simple, easy questions and all of that. Just know what you are doing, then answer your questions correctly, focus questions and focus answers, make it focus on the project. Like we said, the theme for this year is from farm to place. So just when you are explaining your project, give it how do I put it now? Just make it everybody know that okay, this is what you are doing. Whatever you are doing is related from farm to plates, not like focusing on other projects. And also, I want to bring our attention to something. Your application should be for Wiki Loves Africa alone. Don't impute another project entirely into Wiki Loves Africa application. If it is Wiki Loves Africa, it is Wiki Loves Africa. So the moment your proposal starts focusing on 2 or 3 different projects, there might be an issue of understanding what you are trying to do. So let it be focused on Wiki Loves Africa alone.
So I shared 2 more links that I highly suggest that you save and keep really a good eye on. The first link is simply the grant, rapid grant, is where the main information is provided in terms of eligibility criteria. What can be funded, what cannot be funded is something important, because once you start pushing things that should not be funded, it taints your proposition. It makes you look less serious, because that means you haven't read the guidelines. So make sure you fit into the guidelines. Read that page. It also includes information with regards to deadline and so on. So it's useful to have. It's not a very long page. So please do read that page. That's the first link I shared. The second link I shared is the list of all applications and reports done by others, every type of rapid grant in your area. So you will have the one that are in draft mode, the one that are under review mode, the one that were refused or approved in the former cycles. We are trying to tag every single request to Wiki Loves Africa with a special category. So it will, I will share the link just afterwards. So it will allow you to look at previous application made by others this year or previous years. So that's a good way of looking. In particular, if you're looking at the one which were rejected, go to the talk page and look why they were rejected. There are many reasons why an application can be rejected. One might be simply because the person is not eligible, and it might be because of the proposal itself. So why the person might not be eligible is something Hilary will touch further on. It's problem of being banned, having too many requests open, or having not provided the last report. These are reasons why your application will not even be looked at, because you're not eligible. So you need to make sure that you're fine in good terms, so that your proposition is being read. And then the proposition can be rejected for several reasons, either because it's not detailed enough, or because the amount of money asked is being just ridiculous, because it contains elements that are very unclear, sometimes because it asks money for another program. We don't know why people do that. So there might be reasons to be rejected, and I'm not exactly sure what's the percentage, but roughly, I would say every year about half of the application are being rejected. And in most cases, there really a reason. It's not detailed enough, it's too expensive, or expenses are weird, they do not fit, or the project is not well described. And always keep in mind that the goal is not to simply mention what you will do with the money, but also is what is the impact you expect? What do you want to do? Big picture. Like you want to make sure that a team that is already existing be strengthened, be stronger, be trained, or you want maybe to attract more the attention of the journalists, the media, maybe is another reason. Do you want the contest to be more visible to photographer user group? There might be many reasons why you're asking for money. Just make sure to explain what is your impact. What do you expect things to be changing toward to? Not just, I want to host an edit-a-thon. Yeah, right. Of course. But what do you expect afterwards? What's the plan here? So I shared the links. First link is the Rapid Grant portal page on Meta. Read it before you apply to anything. Even if you have already applied in the past, just in case, read again, because they might have changed some things. So read again, even if you're an old submitter. Second link is the whole panel of all grants that were being asked by others. Read them, look at the proposition, look how it is written, look at the one which are funded, the one which are not funded. just in case. And keep an eye maybe on the submission of this year, might be helpful as well. And the third link I'm going to share is example of former rapid grants being provided. I think that's it. You go on, Hilary, and I will grab you the category of all requests.
So I'll
Yes.
just move on to tell us the cycles that we have available. So we have three cycles available for this year, but then I will suggest you apply I will tell you the best one that will be good for Wiki Loves Africa. I was saying we have cycle 3 available, cycle 4 and cycle 5 with a deadline for cycle 3 to be 1st of December 2024, deadline for cycle 4 to be 15th February 2025, and deadline for cycle 5 to be May 1st, 2025. For Wiki Loves Africa campaign, we will advise you apply for cycle 3, which deadline will be, the deadline is some weeks from now, because Wiki Loves Africa is starting on 1st of March like we did in 2024. So if you apply for any other cycle other than cycle 3, there is every possibility that your funds will not arrive because of the processing time. Your funds might not arrive before we start Wiki Loves Africa. And if you apply for cycle 3, if you get the funds, you'll be able to plan your events very well and you do better. And if you don't get the funds, you know early and check for alternative, maybe for other countries like Nigeria, where you can apply to Wikimedia Nigeria to give you funds, and other places like that. So we will advise you apply for cycle 3, which should be ending very soon. So if you are having in mind to do your application, you can start doing that immediately. So yeah, tips and best practices. Florence has said so many things about this already. Yeah, she has said a lot, but then
You can
let me just
repeat.
go over
You
it
can
again.
repeat. It's always good to repeat. It's
Yeah,
always super
that
important to repeat.
very, very important. So I'll be going over it again. Please, I want you to clearly define your project goals and objectives. With this, it will make the grant reviewers to know what you are doing, and it will give your proposal a good edge. Then also develop a realistic budget and timeline. You know, some persons who want to apply for a project and they will make the budget very bogus. It's not how big your budget is that will make your project to be approved. But then once you have a good budget, then you are good to go. And also make sure that your timeline falls in to the timeline of Wiki Loves Africa. You can't be applying for Wiki Loves Africa and you say you are starting in January. So develop a realistic budget and timeline. And also review past and approve Wiki Loves Africa grants is very, very important. Check what others has applied before, the ones that have been approved, just like Florence said. Check them, gain valuable insight from them, what they did better that make their grant to be approved. Then check the ones that was rejected also, what was in that grant that make the grant to be rejected. And also analyze successful projects to understand key elements and best practices. Yeah, check project that was successful, the ones that have written their report, and see what they did in their project. You can gain insight on the kind of activities you can carry out, pick some key elements that you put in your proposal, and you be good to go. And also use the provided template to develop comprehensive grants. Like I said before, don't rush to Flux directly to apply. You might make different mistake, because once you apply on Flux and submit, you can't edit. So just use the template, take your time, put everything on the template, review over and over again. Then before you start going to Flux, copy and paste before you save and submit. And also don't forget to make a copy of the template. You can't edit the original template. The template is on the Rapid Grant page. I think I should share that again on the Rapid Grants page. Oh, not this. Okay, the link is somewhere up. The
Yeah, the
template is there.
template
So
is
just
the content of the form is available on Meta. But what I strongly advise, so that you don't have a discrepancy, is the person doing the going to Flux, copy paste the application form, copy paste it, put it on the Google Doc and work on the Google Doc and share the Google Doc with your team. Ask other people to feedback on your proposition. Work together, several people together. When your proposal is fine, then you copy paste it on Flux. That's the way we do for Wiki in Africa all the time. We never work on the application on Flux. We always work on the application on a Google Doc, us all of us together. It's you keep track of what you're doing. Everybody can access the content. You can ask other people to review it, even if they are not part of your team. Like you can maybe ask Hilary to have a look in case. Not all of you should do that, otherwise you'll die. But if you need a feedback, then you can ask if it's on a Google Doc. If it's on Flux, you cannot ask. So keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you, Florence. So just make sure you polish your application, then ask questions, tell others to review so that there won't be any loopholes and all. Then ensure your proposal is complete. Don't submit half proposal. Ensure it's complete and polished before you proceed to submit. Then inform the relevant communities is very, very important. The communities that are involved in your proposal, the communities that you mentioned that will be part of what you are doing, try and inform them, have a discussion with them about what you want to do with them, and let them give their approval before you go on and apply. Then finally, youth safety policy. Yeah, very, very important for events that, for activities that involve underage community members. You must make sure you read the youth safety policy and provide the necessary things before you go on to apply for your grants. So this will bring us to the end of the presentation. Florence, do you have anything to add before we go into question and answer? We just have a few minutes and some person's hands are raised already.
I have two quick suggestions. I'm sharing the link first. When you have done your application, please do not hesitate to share the link with us or add the category that I just shared. It avoids us maybe your application getting lost and we can look at it and that could be useful. So for now, I could identify two of them, which I dropped. They are applications that came from the previous cycle. And the second thing is that there is a page on Meta which lists, there's a big table and it lists all the participants, future participants to this year. So that's a big table. The link is here. And this is where we will list all participating communities. Same thing. If you want to drop your links here about if you intend to participate, help. We'll have a big table afterwards, but if you want to just drop the link here on the channel, the Telegram channel, keep us updated about what your guys are doing. That would be helpful.
Thank you, Florence.